And ready?
Kat Dunn.
Hey.
I am a huge fan, whether you like me or not. I love you, and I'm geeking out right now. So,
oh, you're just sucking up because I'm interviewing you. But I appreciate
I've heard
that.
your podcast. I've listened to your podcast. Don't you worry. No, I'm a huge fan of your season, of you, and yeah. Anyway, let me get that out of the way.
Well, I was gonna ask you that. So you're a super fan of the show, but were you a live feeder?
Yes. I've only watched live feeds entirely for All Stars because of COVID shutdown. But I've definitely watched clips and stuff like that.
Okay, but you were a fan of my season, so that's actually surprising me because my season was not. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not a very likable season, and it was a tough season to watch for some people.
Absolutely, and I understand that, but like, I think the characters in there, I don't know, like the personalities, and you made it.
Oh, so you're more. Sucking up. Well, okay, did you see the part? So during my season, I'm glad you brought this up. During my season, did you see the part where, you know, there was a whole Grateful Alliance and then they brought Nicole, or they all went up to the HOH room and then they locked Nicole out of
Yes.
So, okay. So you saw that happen on the show, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So why, if you saw that happen on the show, what made you think that you should lock Taylor out of the HOH room?
I never locked her out. When did that happen?
You said you were going, you didn't lock her out because you didn't have to. So you had said that when you put Taylor on the block, you were like awaiting her to erupt. You were really scared about how she was going to act whenever she was on the block. So as a way to, I guess, protect you, and I think you were trying to protect your fellow house guests, you said that you would take them all up to the HOH room and lock Taylor out of the HOH room. Very grateful Nicole kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm unaware of that now.
Yeah, well, it happened. You said it.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you. Yeah, that sucks. I think I was fearful of putting her as a replacement because I saw myself in her, as far as like I would blow up and I would lose my shit and call people out because obviously I speak up. So I guess if anything, I don't know. I can't wait to watch that back and be made aware of it because I don't want to be that person. And I'm not that person in the outside world, but I guess being fearful of it and feeling like, from what I knew, as you know, in the house, you can only trust what you've been told or see, that she was going after one of my loyal allies that I thought was my loyal ally. And so it's more about protecting us all, I guess. And everyone but Nicole wanted her out and did not align with Taylor. Nicole was the only one that vouched for her. So
Nicole vouched for Taylor?
Huh?
Nicole vouched for Taylor?
To me, yeah. Nicole directly to me for week one was like, I'm cool with her and I have no problems with her. And I was like, initially before the Paloma thing, I wanted to align with Taylor as well, but it just didn't pan out, obviously, because I trusted what Monty had doubled down on and that the whole house wanted her out.
So let's talk about the moment that you put Taylor on the block. So your speech was pretty intense, and that wasn't like a live feed moment. That was like a speech that you thought of, that you practiced, and that you executed based on what you know, it's a show. You're trying to entertain. You know, you executed it accordingly. It was what you thought we kind of wanted to hear. Did you think in that moment that you had the TV viewers on your side?
Oh, absolutely, because I don't know what's happening on the outside world, and obviously the edit, I don't know. It seems what I'm hearing is that she's getting the hero edit. I'm getting the villain. But there's a lot that goes down the house, as you know, and you experience energies just sitting in a room with someone and the catty comments, petty comments, stuff like that everyone's accepting and feeling. She called Jasmine fat. And
no, she did. Are you kidding? No, Daniel, are you kidding? Daniel, she did not call Jasmine fat. Jasmine called herself fat because she asked what size Taylor was. Taylor said she was 0 or 2, and Jasmine ran with that. And she took that as, and as
you know, this is what I'm hearing from someone I loyally trust. So I'm learning that these aren't necessarily all true. So these are the things I'm being fed to put her on the block. And so moving forward, that's all I'm believing because no one ever backtracked, which they probably wouldn't because it's a game and they don't want to be caught up. Unfortunately, I'm very emotional, loyal player. So it got the best of me and it ruined my game.
So let's talk about the edit, because you said that Taylor was getting the hero edit and you're getting the villain edit. But we're talking about the live feeds. We're not talking about the edit. We're talking about the live feeds, what we saw. They didn't even address the bullying until kind of later on in the season. But I guess we're not, I guess just keep in mind, we're not talking about the edit. We're talking about the kind of that, you know,
Okay. Yeah, of course.
and there weren't a lot of feed cuts this season. You know, in All Stars, the one that you watch the feeds, they cut the feeds all the time. Here, they barely cut the feeds. So I guess you already kind of know about Paloma, so that takes out a lot of my questions, to be honest. But I did want to address some of the things that you had said. You made a pretty bold claim in the house, claiming that Taylor is the one that caused Paloma's mental spiral. What made you?
I had said that she added to it, and I actually spoke to Taylor about that shortly after, and she asked about that, and I was like, I don't think you're the cause of it. I do believe it added to it. And she told me to my face that she's the one that planted that in the house, that Taylor said, I may be the reason for this. And then someone else told me, so it was planted. And Taylor said, yes, I said that. I was like, oh, well, that's what I heard. And that's why I said it. So it came from Taylor's mouth. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even thought about it.
Okay. You also
said Taylor told me that. And that may not have been on feeds when I was like trying to smooth things over. And what Taylor said, I said that. And I was like, oh.
No, we saw that. We did see that conversation where you and Taylor were kind of clarifying everything. So you also said that Taylor doesn't deserve to live normal. So why doesn't Taylor deserve to live normal?
Yeah, I'm heard about this, and I'm speaking on the Big Brother world, and that doesn't justify or validate it, but I'm thinking of, it has nothing to do with the outside world, and I would never wish that upon anyone. But even in the Big Brother world, not that it's okay, but I'm thinking of the loyal people that I feel I'm protecting, and that this person who I thought was hurting others or bullying others didn't deserve to feel safety in the house, as far as being evicted and all that.
Okay. You also said that you accused Taylor of stalking you, which is like kind of that's a crazy thing to say in a house that doesn't have a backyard, except for like 3 days a week and like no windows. Like, I feel like everybody's kind of stalking each other, you know?
Absolutely.
There's nowhere to go.
Well, what happened initially, I saw on the HOH monitor that Taylor was like running around the house, and Paloma's like, she's looking for me. She's been stalking me throughout this house, following me everywhere. And then when Paloma left, Taylor started following me into every room, literally every couch, every chair I was on. She was right next to me. Every time I got up and left, she would follow me. And I thought it was a tactic to try to. Do you think
that maybe you were being a little paranoid?
I mean, that's also another layer, you know, like, and I was like, maybe it's just me, but either way, I'm going to remove myself from these situations because I don't want it to get to me if it's a tactic or if I'm overthinking it. Then I heard that she had a crush on me. I don't know if that's true. Then I heard that she wanted to hook up with me from her own words. So then I was like, oh, now it's starting to make sense.
Hey, take it from me. The BB goggles are kind of wild, so you never know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at one point, I wanted to hook up with her. So I'm like, yeah.
Anyways, that is a love triangle I honestly don't think America's ready for. So
no one is.
Yeah. So let's, I guess, talk. I am going to bring up Paloma because something that I don't think enough people are really. Just hear me out. So Paloma was in the house for 6 days, and I know that things move faster in the game, but that's just like not a lot of time, especially compared to your fellow house guests and the time that you spent with them. But a lot of your gameplay it always resorts back to Paloma. You know, it's all you like. I feel like you've kind of shifted the blame on Paloma for a lot of things. Are you using her as a shield to kind of like protect, I guess, or justify the things that you said about Taylor, or to kind of protect yourself from the things that you said?
Not as a shield. I'm a very loyal and emotional person outside the house. I didn't know that would follow me into the house. Obviously, you can't remove that from a human. So when I give my love and loyalty to someone and I connect, I've toured for 10 years and I meet multiple people with different backgrounds and everything. And in moments, I could see if I'm going to connect with this person, which is how I found my final two, Nicole, in 12 hours, or even just seeing her into the backyard. I knew it immediately. So with Paloma, each day I found a connection with her and grew and literally saw her as a sister. She reciprocated the brother-sister situation. Whether that's true outside in the outside world, I'll respect it and we'll move from there. But feeling that way in such a short amount of time, a day is a week. And so feeling like 6 weeks of like this person I love and trust was definitely was real. And so it's not a shield. It's me going, I was loyal to this person. and I'm going to move forward in that sense. But after about 2 weeks, I had told Taylor, you're not my target. Like, that's not what I'm basing my game off of. I have to remove that. But then the Nicole thing happened, and that's another loyal person. And so it just kind of stacked on top of each other. Unfortunately, I couldn't remove emotion as much as I wish I had, or that I thought I was going to moving into the house. And that's what ruined my game. And yeah, it just sucks.
So I want to talk about first impressions, because you said that you based a lot of, your loyalty based on first impressions. You said that the minute that you saw Taylor, you knew that she was going to be bad news. You also made a lot of claims about her being aggressive. And honestly, I mean, I hate saying it coming from me, because hello, I'm a white girl. But from what I've learned about microaggressions, a lot of things just seemed to be a little like, maybe if you had done a little bit of, bias training, you wouldn't have said those things. So
or just stepping back from the situation and trying to see it from the outside, or getting to the bottom of it, opposed to using my emotions. When I said bad news, I mean not good for my game, because I see myself in her. I do see her as a badass and someone who's going to absolutely destroy this game. So I was fearful of putting her up and her blowing.
So I also want to kind of, because, okay, I'll be honest. A lot of the interviews that I've done, people deflect and they say that, I bring up the bullying, and they're like, oh, like so-and-so bully, but no one ever says who the bully is. And then they say, oh, like Taylor's great. Taylor's this, there's that. It's like, well, that's not what y'all were saying in the house. Because Daniel, you said, if America thinks I'm a fucking asshole, I will apologize and be like, you don't understand. Talk to any house guest and they will express how shitty of a person that girl is. I don't see her as a good person. But now you're sitting here and telling me that you think she's a badass and you think she's going to win the game. And it's just not really, it doesn't match. And I don't know what happened between when you got evicted and now. But we want answers based on how you acted in the game.
Yes. Someone could be a badass and also we can feel that they're not a good person. Absolutely.
Why don't you think she was a good person?
Because of the way she treated people in the house, and just being there in the moment and watching it happen, but also being told, whether it's lies or not, I unfortunately believed it. So yeah, that's what I meant by like being a shitty person. And she had told me in the tiki room that she came in this house purposely as a character, as like, I forgot how she worded it, but not a good person. She says, I'm a good person in the outside world, and I want to be the opposite walking in here. And I was blown, because I was like, that sucks, because I feel like we would line better if she was herself, if that's the truth, But yeah, in the house, you definitely, the negative energies and the pettiness or catty like remarks you feel, and it unfortunately like adds up on top of each other. And then the lies that I'm being fed did not help, obviously made it worse. But that does not negate her being a badass who's going to kill this game. And I think she'll make top 3.
Okay.
And I just heard she won HOH. So it all is coming together. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Last question. Okay. Did you really not know that Michigan was a state?
I didn't say that.
Yeah. You thought it was a restaurant.
Oh, no. We were me and Terrence were joking.
Y'all were joking, because y'all didn't think that Taylor could put a pageant.
I tour for a living. So yes, I know it's a state. And my friends are from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were joking because you didn't think that she could win. I guess
well,
I thought that you didn't think it was a state, but I see you were just making fun of her because you didn't think that she could beat out, a competitive.
Well, Terrence started like the joking at it, so I was like, oh, like it must be a restaurant, and it's just being stupid. It wasn't trying to be like rude or whatever. Well, but anyway,
well, there's Michigan is a state. It has a population of 10 million people, and she beat out 51 girls at the pageant. And even more impressive, she went on to Miss USA, where she was voted on by 10 women, or by not 10. She went on to Miss USA, where she was voted on by 50 women to win Miss Congeniality for being the nicest contestant.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Surprise, bitch.
She did go in as a character in Big Brother. All right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's all we have. Conspire Away, bitches.
I appreciate it all. Thank you so much.